Let's talk about Illuminae. It's the year 2575, and one day Ezra Mason and Katie Grant break up. Several hours later, their planet is then invaded by a mega corporation and a war ensues. The two manage to escape on a war fleet, and the interstellar war continues, but that's not the worst of their problems, because there is a deadly virus aboard one of the spaceships that has broken out and is mutating, and it's pretty freaking terrifying. That is the basic gist of Illuminae. Before I dive into my review, I want to show you my initial reaction to the book after just finishing it, because this is definitely the type of book that I needed to take a breather with after finishing it, and I really needed that time to collect my thoughts before trying to review it in any way, but I definitely think that my initial reaction to it speaks volumes. So roll the clips. Just finished all of these pages. Oh, I think this book will be leaving me in an epic book hangover. Oh my god. We have the first 100 pages, which is kind of following the events that happened right at the get-go, and we kind of get to know our characters and the universe and what life is like on these ships. And then for the next 200 pages, things get intense really quickly. Like, the tension, it skyrockets. I didn't want to miss anything, so I had to stop every so often, like quite frequently. Now we're at the midway point. By this stage, so much has gone wrong. So much has happened. I'm like, how on earth can this possibly continue? Oh, things get really interesting and really awesome, and the intensity is still there. It's still, at this point, more of a slow burn, and the story sucks you in even deeper. The tension starts to build up again, and then it's, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I don't want this to end. Then yes, just things wrap up quite nicely in a bow. Well, wrapping it up quite nicely is probably not the right way to put it, but there are some revelations and some things come to light whilst at the same time throwing a bunch of stuff at you. This was like one of the coolest things I've ever read, and one of the most intense things I've ever read, and it was all done in such a unique way, but it worked so well. I kind of want to read it again right now. And there's only one other book that's made me feel that way, and that was Ready Player One. I think I'm just gonna sit here and contemplate all of the things and try and figure out how I feel, because I don't even know how I feel at this point. It's so confusing. I'm interested to see how I still feel about this book in a few months' time. I've lost all the words now. Amie, Jay, you I applaud you for your brains. Those crazy brains. I can't even adequately compliment you guys at this point in time. I can't do this anymore. See y'all laters. Bye. So continuing on with my review, which is hopefully a little more cohesive and makes a little more sense than that. This book was probably the coolest book I have ever read. And not just in the concept and what happens in this story, but also the structure. It's basically a compilation of really confidential documents, such as emails, interviews with the main characters, instant messaging chats, snippets of some audio, as well as transcripts of video surveillance, and it worked perfectly for this book. So with this format, we obviously don't get to know like the thought processes of our main characters, but I never felt that I didn't understand them or I didn't really know them. The way in which their characters are revealed to us, it's done so cleverly. We really get to understand our characters just through the things that they're saying to each other and through their actions, and just their entire personality was illustrated so well through looking at them from an exterior point of view. But in addition to this, the same thing goes for the world building. We're still able to get a real sense of the universe and what is happening. It's not fully fleshed out at this point because there's still so much mystery and we still have so much to learn. I can definitely see that the world has been really thought out. Because it's also set this way, it's surprisingly quick to read. This book is about 600 pages and it is a heavy mofo, but I found myself just flying through it. I finished it in about a day, and I honestly did not want to put this book down. It was so captivating. The story really keeps you flipping those pages. There's a lot of mystery, so you've got lots and lots of questions. And another thing I really appreciated about the structure of this book is how some of the pages really play with lines and form, with words. A lot of the time, the words on the page are made to reflect what is happening in the story, like bouncing around without gravity, which I thought really added a little extra something to the story and my reading experience. I mean, come on, how freaking cool is that? Oh! At some points I had to force myself to slow down so I could really appreciate the really clever orientation on some of these pages, like that one, because this story is really fast paced and there's so much action and you just want to know what is going to happen. So continuing on with the characters, I loved them both. I think they both had a great sense of humor, but together, I thought this made for some really hilarious moments. I definitely found myself giggling sometimes just from their dynamic and the way they interacted with each other and spoke to each other. It was quite witty at times and hilarious. I thought it was wonderful. It was definitely interesting as well because these two characters have literally just broken up. So there is a little bit of animosity at the start. There's a bit of tension between the two characters, but kind of seeing them work around that and trying to just focus on the real issue at that moment, which is kind of not dying. That was very intriguing to see. Both of these characters were quite intelligent and very resourceful, but in very different ways. They had their strengths in different areas. I liked especially that Katie was super sneaky about the fact that she was so smart to kind of stay under the radar. The ending of this book as well. I need the next book now. I just want to know everything. I want to know everything. Is that so much to ask? If you like books that have a lot of tension and just that constant threat of we could die at any moment, but also plenty of mystery and intrigue and sci-fi-ness and epicness and spaceships and also a hint of a love story, this is probably the book for you. I think this is a wonderfully constructed novel and it's not like anything I've really ever read before and I love that. So I'm excited about this world, I'm excited about the story, and I'm excited about the entire series and I need them all now. So chop chop please. This book gets a 5 glowing stars from me. I thought it was fantastic. This book has me so excited. I was also sent this book by Amie Kaufman herself. She sent this to me, so thank you so much, Amie. So this one is an art copy, so there are quite a few things that haven't been included just yet. I think mainly art or schematics about the ship and things like that. So I definitely plan on going back and flicking through this book when I do have my hands on the final copy. And honestly, this is something that I can totally see myself rereading. This is fabulous. It's fabulous, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up now. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys end up reading this, I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Hoping you loved it as much as I did. And yeah, that is all. So I'll see you guys next time with a new video.